And they got the matrix of leadership right here, which I think it's a nice touch because we didn't really see a lot of that in the game anyway. But it was a nice touch to add to him, to know that he does have the matrix. So I was struggling for about like 10 minutes because I had no idea that what you're supposed to do is put it like this. And so it actually feels like you can't go past this. You know, I don't want to, but you're supposed to go like this. And it clicks in like that, right? And there are these tabs. You see that right there, right? So that, put this in there, and then you see that right there. And it slides on. And it makes it look like his gun has went in, as if it's transformed like how it does in the in the game and in the trailer. I like that. I like that a lot. And shout out to MGO, because I could not figure out how to do it for the life of me until I saw his video. So you guys should go check out MGO too. He's another unboxer, but this is just amazing in all its glory. That sexy Optimus Prime, right? What you do with that is you gotta like try and put your fingernails into this, I guess, because there's no better way to do it. So they open like that, and as you can see, it's like a little you gotta like kind of like wiggle it out, but you gotta like make sure it goes in with how you're doing it, you know, like that. Same thing with this side. Just want to try and open it carefully, because you know this guy costs $100, so you got to be careful with it, obviously. And boom, you can have him. You could have him waiting to spread some wisdom, right there, right? So what you just do is you get this, and then you just put it in his chest. And am I doing it correctly? Maybe it's upside down. I think it is. Boom. And there he has his matrix of leadership in his chest. That is just an amazing accessory that they added with it, that they didn't have to, because I don't think the Hasbro version did. But you know, for $100, man, you know, they're giving me a lot more than what Hasbro, you know, gives, you know. But yeah, you just close it. This worries me a little bit that I have to like push it in, but I mean, I don't know, maybe that's how it is for everybody. But yeah, that is Optimus Prime. And you could also have him holding his other weapon in the other hand. And boom, he is ready for the action. Boom. What a figure. And I love that too, his little smokestacks right there. The amount of effort and detail that they added into this figure, very, very nice. For about $100 you're gonna get this for, maybe less if you got Show.Z points. You should definitely go and pick this guy up. This guy is amazing, and he is a nice collection to your collection of Transformers or action figures, you know? Just want to point out that this right here, I like the detail in it and everything. And I even like that it's sharp, to be honest. But this is why this is for people 15 and above, because you don't want you don't want your child to, you know, this is very, you know, pointy and sharp. And so this is, you know, a collectible, obviously, you know. So they don't think that a lot of people are going to be, you know, playing with their, or maybe they are. Maybe they do think. But just keep that in mind, that this is very sharp if you end up buying this. And if you have kids or whatever, just be careful with the sword. You don't want nobody to get hurt. Alright, guys, for size comparison, here we have, wait, let me put him back a little bit. There we go. Here we have Bumblebee from Transformers 3. As you guys can see how they compare, Bumblebee is a little bit smaller than Optimus Prime, but I think that is a good comparison. Second comparison is Shockwave over here from Fall of Cybertron. As you can see, Shockwave is smaller than Optimus Prime. And this is the Hasbro version, so I'm going to get the Planet X version one of these days, and I'm going to do a review. And you're going to see how they scale up, you know, together. But I think, you know, this is obviously inaccurate from the game, you know. It still shows how the Fall of Cybertron version goes, and Optimus Prime is from Fall of Cybertron, you know. So there you go. For another size comparison, here we have Soundwave from Fall of Cybertron, and I don't have his cassettes. They're in my Transformer box, but as you guys can see, they're both almost like the same size, and I think that's a good size because, you know, they're both you know, leader class, how I said in the game, you know, they're both almost the same size. So I think this is a good size, even though, you know, this is not Planet X. I would like to see a Planet X Soundwave if they ever do make one, you know. So this is, I think, a good size so to compare. And last but not least, here we have Mindwipe, which I think they're about almost the same size. If anything, Mindwipe is probably a little bit taller than Optimus Prime, but I think for that is a good size right there. But obviously, I like the way how Prime is. He's like really big, so not that big. He's like 8 inches, but I think it's a good size. So yep. And that's pretty much it, you know. As you guys can see, this is Prime in all his glory. here's Optimus in his robot mode, as you guys can see. And he just looks amazing, I gotta say. He rolls good. I like how it looks, even though, you know, a little bit of junk, but what can you do about it, you know? I like everything about it, how it looks. It looks amazing. A little squeaky, as you guys can see. Looks very nice. Now, for me, transforming this guy for the first time definitely took me through a ride, and I accidentally broke this piece off, and I'm not proud of that because I spent $100 just so it could break. But I mean, hey, what can you do about it, right? You gotta do better, and you gotta be more careful with these figures. As you can see, yeah, it's like a little, but yep. And so you could put his gun as you guys can see. There's 2 pegs right there, and there's 2 pegs right there, so you just put the gun right there. But even without the gun, Optimus Prime looks like a badass. Just looks like he's ready to fucking roll over some Decepticons. As you guys can see the sculpt. Nice, very nice. I like it. I feel like he just has a few tolerance issues. Yeah, so this actually broke off, and it's only like a screw, but like it like messed up the plastic. And while you're transforming this, you got to be careful too, because some of the metallic paint might chip off. But overall, this guy looks amazing. I wish the instructions were a little bit better because they really don't help at all. I had to look up a video about this because those are the only things that'll help you actually transform this better. And unfortunately, you know, they should update their instructions, or I think go a little bit more through their instructions a little bit better, so then, you know, the people don't have to go and look up everything all the time. But just amazing. I like the way it looks, everything. Fabulous. All right, guys, for size comparison for Optimus, here we have Bumblebee, which is from Transformers 3. And yes, as you guys can see how they compare, they look pretty nice. Another comparison, here we have Fall of Cybertron Shockwave. As you can see, you know, Prime is way bigger than Shockwave, obviously. But I don't have the Planet X version, so maybe the Planet X version is a little bit more beefy, and it looks like the, you know, like Skinny Ock. You know, he kind of looks like how he does in War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron. So maybe it looks a little bit different in this one, because this guy kind of looks like a scrawny old guy with a blaster, you know? So next comparison, here we have Soundwave. So I think that actually works pretty well. Oh my god, I don't know where the wheel is. It's probably in my box of Transformers. But yes, as you guys can see, they're about almost the same size, and I think that's how they were anyway, because they're both around like leader class size. If you play War for Cybertron, then you know that these are both in the same class. They're like leader in the leader class, you know, from when you create a class. They're both in the same thing because they're both trucks. And then Megatron and Brawl and Warpath are the tank, you know, they're the last class that you pick. But yeah, that's how it looks. I think that's a good size. So, and here we have, I think his name is Mind Wipe, like the Mind Wipe tonic from Arc. But as you guys can see how that scales pretty good. I think that scales pretty well, considering Mind Wipe is not very known anyway. So take that out. And last but not least, here we have Galvatron. As you guys can see, just scales way over, and It is way too big, obviously, because this is the KO, but this goes with my KO figure, so, you know, these are not in the same size, you know? But yeah,